Right. So my name is Sam Fogarty. I am a psychotherapist here at My Therapy NYC. I work with individuals, couples, and groups, and I really love running this monthly meditation and mindfulness group. I like to incorporate mindfulness and meditation into my sessions, but I think having a dedicated space to that is really special and important too. And it can just bring about different things than when it's integrated into therapy too. Um, so today's theme is connecting to your core self. You might have like read the blurb online, but essentially the idea is that we have a core self, we have some like core identity, we have that sort of like internal compass or thing that just kind of makes us tick. But oftentimes that gets so like clouded and cluttered by different like shoulds, like we should be at a certain point for our age, or we should be at a certain um, point in our career, or we have anxiety and depression and maybe some perfectionism, like all these different things that sort of clutter us. And our work today is going to be just sort of like recognizing those different parts, is what we'll call them. Um, and just asking them to kind of like step aside to see what can kind of emerge if we can get some of that self energy. It's not going to be like transcendental or anything, but my goal today is just to help you feel like you aren't so in your mind, and instead you're able to just kind of like observe what's happening and almost meditate on yourself, and just sort of be with that. Hope that makes sense. If not, it will throughout the meditation. And if anything else, you're giving yourself some time to just sit and be and take some deep breaths. And that is incredibly important too. But never feel like you have to like do the meditation right or anything. Whatever comes to you, whatever is working for you, stick with that. Um, and that's what really matters. If there's anything that comes up that you want to talk about after, I'm more than happy to, or you can bring it into your individual therapy sessions if you're in individual therapy. Um, and we'll go from there. So first, find yourself in a comfy position or however you like to meditate, whether that be like a walking meditation. I like to be seated. You could even be seated at a chair or on the floor, whatever works for you, and just start to settle in to your physical space and just check that you're physically comfortable, right? If your core is sore from a workout or something, then it's totally fine and maybe even good to sit in a chair with some back support. So you aren't focused on that the whole time. Like give yourself what you need. There's no like right or better way to meditate. For people who might be more anxious, a walking meditation can be nice, or even standing or laying down, whatever works. Once you're there, just start to shut yourself off from the outside world and start to go internal. So if you're walking, that might mean lowering your gaze. If you're seated, that might mean closing your eyes. And just be present with your breath as it is. No need to change it. Just notice the rise and fall of your belly and chest with your breath. And start to almost cut off your senses, right? That's why we close our eyes. It's one less thing to be present with, so we can just be present with our minds. You can imagine almost like cords shooting out from your body or mind, and just imagine like snipping those, bringing yourself internal. Hmm. As you're present with your breath, start to bring your attention to the tip of your nose and just notice the air as it enters your body and leaves your body. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice the texture of the air. If there are any scents that you're noticing, you don't need to assign them good or bad. Just notice the air. And notice how it's changed by being in your body. Maybe it's warmer, more humid as you breathe out. And just stay at the tip of your nose. From here, wherever you are, just exhale all of the air out of your system. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. And inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. You can stay with this rhythmic breath. You can deepen it. Maybe it feels more comfortable for your breath to be more shallow today. It's okay too. You can bring your hands one below the navel, one to your chest. Just notice how your breath fills the belly and then your lungs as you inhale. And as you exhale, how your chest falls and your belly falls. Just be present with that rhythm. Any thoughts that come in, just let them enter and leave. There's no need to grip on to any of these. Do a body scan. So beginning with your feet, just noticing how they're feeling. You can relax them just a bit. Release any tension that isn't needed here. Your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hamstrings, your quads, your hips, your belly, and your lower back, your chest, onto your shoulders. See if you can breathe them in and shrug them up, and exhale, just drop them down and back. Your upper arm, your elbows, Your lower arms and your hand, fingers. Maybe it feels good to crack them a little. And just bring your hands to a comfortable place. If you feel like you're needing more energy or to receive energy, you can flip your palms up. If you're noticing yourself feeling maybe anxious or energetic, then you can keep your palms down for a more grounding sensation. We're going to begin a visualization. So I want you to just imagine beginning of a path and imagine yourself there and just build out the picture. Is the path winding or straight? What's the vegetation like? Are there lots of trees? Are you in a meadow, a desert? Whatever comes to mind, just be imaginative and playful with it. Whatever feels right to you in this moment is what's right for this. And then I want you to imagine yourself there, beginning of that path, and start to imagine all your different parts there, right? The parts of yourself that we discussed at the beginning. Maybe it's the anxious part of you, the depressed part of you, the perfectionist part of you. Maybe these are even different identities like work you or partner you or parent you, whatever these different roles or identities might be, different parts of you or being. Just imagine them all there. They can be different versions of you as you visualize them, or more abstract. Just imagine yourself being there with all of them. Might be quite crowded. That's okay. And once you feel like you have some of your parts there and present, I want you to imagine just taking a step away from them, a step back or two, and just notice the separation between you and all these parts, all this clutter. Notice how these parts react to you taking a step back. Are they afraid? Are they angry? Do they not want you to go? Or are they excited for you, maybe? Just notice their reactions and honor those reactions, but recognize that that's not the whole you. And we can kind of ask these parts to stay there at the trailhead. Maybe you envision them all sitting on a bench together or in a blanket and see how they react to that idea of just staying there while you go off down the path. Give you some time to sort of maybe talk them through it. They're willing and able to stay back. Just know that we'll be back for all of them. We aren't abandoning them. We just want some time with ourselves. And if they're okay with that, right? Then begin your walk down the path. Say goodbye to them. Just head out on your imagined journey. Imagine how your feet feel against the ground, how the air smells or feels, if it's cold or warm in this imagined scenario, if it's windy. Just take it in. And as you progress, if you find that you're still thinking a lot or watching yourself, then some parts have probably stayed with you. So if that thinking part or that observing part or that perfectionist part is still there, then we can just ask them to head back down the trail politely. And if they're willing to stay behind, you can repeat that as many times as you need, right? That thinking part comes back, even a bored part or a part that's trying to make sense or rationalize things. You can just ask those parts to step aside and just to let you be in this imagined scenario and explore. It might come up a lot, and that's okay. Might be nervous. Just see if they're willing to stay behind. As you remove these parts, continue down the path, feel yourself becoming lighter. Notice how your body might shift as you declutter, separate these parts out. Just feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter, more and more relaxed, moving towards pure awareness without thought. Just continue down this path and see what comes up for you. If you aren't feeling lighter, if you're feeling stuck in some ways, just be curious about the parts of your body that are tense. Maybe that's an indicator of some part that you're holding on to. And you can just be aware of that and ask if it can step aside for the time being. And as you're continuing down this path, removing parts when you need to, feeling lighter, welcome in any sort of clarity, sense of well-being, maybe even notice your chest opening, indicating some level of confidence that's coming into your body. Just invite all of that energy in, even if it's small right now, even if it's just a bit of clarity, a bit of calm. Just welcome that in and invite that energy into your experience and invite that energy that you're feeling into your body. Let it lift you, let it free you up. Just be curious about how that impacts your body feeling here. Continue down this path, welcoming this feeling, letting it build. Maybe you even notice a smile creeping up on your face. Welcome that. Maybe you feel energized, there's clarity, well-being, confidence, calm. Maybe you notice yourself having a lot of compassion for yourself and for your surrounding. Just invite all this energy that you're feeling into your body. Now on this path, I want you to just pause. Maybe there's a nice view or a nice place to sit down and just experience what it's like to have so much self in your body. So much of that core self just flooding your body, right? Notice how your body feels, how maybe your mind eases or unknots. Just really observe how this feels now, how nice it is, how freeing it is. Just be with them. It's your only job right now. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to be. I invite you to take some nice, big, deep breaths, just like inhaling this feeling, expanding it more and more and more. Just really savoring it. When you're ready, just imagine heading back down the path, back to the start. Taking your time, there's no rush. Just maybe feeling buoyant in this feeling of self and connection to yourself. Just observing all the things that you notice on the path as you head back down. When you get to the end of the path, remember all those parts that were there. I want you to thank them for stepping aside, even when it was hard, for staying back to give you this experience. Maybe you thank them with a smile or with a hug or with words. And just notice your distance from them, how yourself feels maybe different from all those other parts of you. Now, you can kind of say goodbye to that visualization exercise. Just come back into your body. We'll do another body scan. Just noticing how things might feel different or the same from when we first began. Starting with your feet and your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your belly, your back, your chest, your shoulders, your arm, your wrists and your hands and your fingers. Just noticing how all these feel different. You can check in with your face and your neck and your head. Mm. When you're ready to start to wiggle your fingers, invite some movement into your toes and your legs. When you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open or lift your gaze. And I encourage you to take out your phone or a notebook, something, and just write about what you're feeling right now for a minute or two. You can even use the chat feature here if you want to use that just to write a bit about maybe what that experience was like, how you notice yourself feeling, how you want to carry that forward beyond just this evening. And just know that anytime that you need it, you can take a deep breath and access a bit of it.